welcome to today's class. Today we'll be working on some hip openers and twists. And you might like to have some blocks nearby. We're actually going to start laying down, and you might like to use your blocks in our reclined butterfly pose. So you can come down to your back, bringing the knees out wide. And then maybe using blocks underneath the thighs, you can bring them up near the hips for more support, or a bit closer to the knees for less support. And if you don't have blocks available, but you do need some support, you could take your hands into fists and then slide the fists in up underneath the upper thighs and kind of the lower part of the glutes there. And then we'll take both hands to the belly, letting the hands rest there lightly. Using hands on the belly as a way to begin some deeper belly breaths. You can gradually slide into belly breaths so that your breath becomes a little bit deeper and a little bit fuller with each round. Breath flows through the nose, allowing different parts of the body to start to relax. And as this relaxation process happens, just notice where you might have been carrying some tension. Sometimes we don't even notice the tension is there until it's released. We can sense the absence of that tension. Throughout our practice today, we'll be releasing tension from the hips and the spine, with our hip opening and twisting postures. We'll take a few more complete breaths here. Checking in to see where you can relax a little bit more. Maybe it's around the neck. Maybe it's the upper arm bones, letting them hang down from the shoulders and release into the floor. Maybe the thighs can soften a little bit more into the blocks or down toward the earth. Slide your hands down to the outer legs, and then bring the knees back together. Pick up the knees and feet, hugging knees into the chest. Elbows have a bend as the hands lightly pull the legs in by holding on to the backs of the thighs. Feeling the lower back in contact with the ground. And then take both hands up to your knees, letting them rest right on the kneecaps. And with the in-breath, we're going to just press the knees forward so that the elbows straighten. And with the out-breath, elbows bend, knees come in. So a couple like this, we're keeping the lower back on the ground the entire time. And so if you find that your lower back wants to lift, you can focus on keeping that length and contact on the mat. Trying to make it more about the abdominal muscles than curving and straightening the lower back. And then the next time the arms straighten, release the left foot all the way down. Keep the right knee in, but take your fingertips behind the back of the head. Elbows are out wide. And we'll point the toes, straightening the right leg forward, keeping the heel fairly low. So instead of reaching toes up to the ceiling, heel is a bit lower to the ground. Take a breath in here, and with your out breath, bend your knee, curl your head and shoulders up, squeezing in. Inhale, head and shoulders lower, right leg presses forward. Exhale, pull the knee in as you curl up toward the knee. One more here, breathing in, lengthening the right leg out. And breathing out, pulling in. Inhale, right toes forward, head and shoulders lower. And exhale, right knee bends, right foot to the mat. Inhale, left leg goes out, toes forward. And exhale to curl in. Inhale. And exhale, pull in the knee. Last one. And then inhaling, left toes forward, head and shoulders stay down. And bend the left knee, left foot to the mat. And then take your feet out wide. You can bring your arms out to the side a little bit, and we'll just windshield wiper with the knees side to side. Getting a little bit of hip opening and twisting with this motion. And then when you roll over to your right, roll over completely, stacking the shoulders, using your left hand to press up. And come to a seat with knees bent, feet about hip width apart. We're going to take hands on the shins, elbows bent, and just starting to lift up through the chest here. So as we push into the balls of the feet, you'll feel the thighs, you'll feel the front of the hips here. Taking a breath in, we'll reach arms forward, keeping the spine long, not rounding back either upper spine or lower spine. Breathing in right here. And breathing out, turning to the right, keeping the hands shoulder width apart. Inhaling to center. Exhaling, turning to the left. Inhaling back to center. Exhale, sweep hands back behind you. Pull the shoulder blades in toward the middle of your back and start to lift up through the chest. Maybe even opening the front of the throat a little bit, taking the chin a little bit higher, but just not so high that we compress the back of the neck. Breathing in fully and breathing out fully, very slightly drawing the belly in with the out breath. Then bringing the chin back to neutral, hands forward, resting on the shins. Inhale, fingertips reach forward. Exhale, turning to the right, making sure the hips stay steady. Breathing in, back to center. Breathing out, turning to the left. Inhale, turning forward, taking the heart up a little higher. And breathing out, sweeping the hands back behind you, pulling the shoulder blades in. Maybe taking the chin slightly upward. Another breath or two here. And then with the inhale, take hands back forward to the shins. And with the exhale, we'll lengthen the legs. Hands can come down to the ground and we'll just release the legs a little bit, straightening and bouncing the backs of the knees. And then from here, we'll turn over to tabletop pose. Coming up to hands and knees. So that wrist creases are parallel, knees are underneath the hips. We'll find a few rounds of cat and cow. Inhaling, letting the belly sink down, chest slides forward. Exhale, lifting the spine and pressing up toward the sky. Inhale, rolling forward. And exhale to round. Inhale. And exhale, lifting the navel, letting the head drop. One more right here. And then inhaling to neutral. Exhaling, taking the hips back, keeping the arms stretched forward. You might even be able to crawl the fingertips a little bit further forward as the hips extend back toward your heels. Sensing the deep bend in the knees, the deep creases in the hips. One more full breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Inhaling, we'll come forward once again. We'll tuck both sets of toes under and then lengthen the right leg back. Knee and toes are spinning down toward the mat. Inhaling here. And with your exhale, bend the right knee, take it outside of the right arm, squeezing the knee up to the shoulder. Inhale, pressing back through the right foot, turning the knee and toes down. Exhale, hugging the knee up to the shoulder. One more time, breathing in, right leg lengthens. Breathing out, hugging the knee up and in. Inhale, sending the right leg back. Exhale, lowering the right toes down. Inhale, keeping right toes on the ground, taking the front of the heart forward. Exhale, right knee lowers. Inhale, sending the left leg back. Knee and toes are turning down. And with the exhale, we bend the knee, hug it up toward the outside of the left arm. Inhale, straightening the left leg. Exhale, bringing the knee in. One more here. And then inhale to stretch back. Exhale, lower the toes, making sure the left hip lowers a bit as well. Left hip isn't lifting up. Breathing in here. And breathing out, left knee comes back to the mat. Then with your inhale, take your right arm up and out. Your arm might be parallel to the floor, or you might reach up toward the sky here. Full breath in, pressing the ground away with the left arm. And with the exhale, take the right arm and reach it between the left knee and left arm, all the way out toward the left side of the mat. Inhale, reach up, turn and open. Exhale to reach through, keeping the right arm hovering above the ground. Inhale, extending the right arm up. Exhale, take the right arm through. This time we'll lower the right arm, right shoulder down. Maybe taking the right ear to the mat. And pressing the left hand into the mat right near the face. With the in-breath, we'll lift all the way up, sending the right arm high. And exhale, right hand lowers down. Inhale, left arm opens, chest turns to the left. Exhale, left arm reaches out to the side. Arm is hovering. Inhale, turning and opening. Exhale, left arm reaches as far as you can. Inhale. And exhale, left arm reaches through and then lowers down to the mat. Hips stay high, so we want to even press the hips a little bit to the left because they tend to lean to the right here. And then we'll push into the right arm, take the left arm high once again, and exhale, lower, left hand down. And then we'll tuck both sets of toes under. Take the hands slightly forward, about one handprint each. And start to curl the toes under, lifting the hips and finding a downward facing dog. And so right away here, pedaling out a little bit through the feet. And then we'll use an in-breath to find stillness. Hips stay lifted, but knees can be bent. And then we'll take a slow walk up forward toward the top of the mat. Taking all the time you need and then letting yourself hang down in this forward fold. Feel as if the kneecaps are pulling upward toward the hips so that we make sure the thighs are engaged, balancing this deep stretch in the back of the legs. And then we'll slowly roll up, knees bend as we rise, straightening through the entire spine, looping the shoulders up and back. Coming up into our mountain pose. Turning the palms forward, thumbs spin out. Chin is right over the center of the heart. Center of the heart is over the center of the hips. Full breath in and full breath out, releasing mountain pose, and you can find your blocks. We'll take, we'll do both blocks in front of the toes here. So about 3 or 4 inches in front of the toes. And then coming back up into a tall stance. Inhale, sweeping the arms up and out. Exhale, knees bend, back as flat as long as possible as we fold. Inhale, halfway lift, taking hands up to the lower thighs. Exhale, folding down, softening the knees. Inhale, straightening the legs as you rise, arms extend up. Exhale, right back down over the legs, chest leads as you fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold down. This time take your left hand to the block and press your left hand down, feeling how that helps you lift the chest a little bit. And then we'll bend into the left knee a lot and take the right hand to the right hip. Then we'll turn so that right elbow faces up toward the sky and we spin toward the right side of the mat. So the line from the tailbone to the crown of the head is pretty long here. Breathing in and breathing out, coming back into neutral, forward fold. Then right hand to the right block, right knee bends. And even with that bend in the right knee, the right hip isn't pulling forward. So the hip stays steady. We take the left hand to the left hip, draw back through the left elbow and shoulder as we turn. Inhaling here. Exhaling, releasing and folding forward. Inhale, sweep the arms up, rise up. Exhale, hands meet and lower to the heart. Full breath. Inhaling, arms circle up. Exhale, hinge forward and fold. So adding on to the last sequence, inhale, halfway lift. Shoulders pull back from the ears. Exhale, folding down. Left knee bends, left hand to the block, right hand to the right hip. Turning here, inhaling. Exhaling to release. Going to the other side, right knee bends, right hand on the block, left hand on the left hip. Inhale. And exhale to fold. Then we'll take our blocks back to the sides of the feet, out by the pinky toe, sides of the feet, and step back with the right foot. So we want to think about the line through the inner thighs. And we're stretching the line from the left inner thigh that's going forward, and the line through the right inner thigh that's moving back. Those lines are moving away from each other. Breathing in right here. And breathing out, lowering the right knee down. Untucking the toes. Inhale, lifting the chest, hands to the left leg. And with the next inhale, we take the arms forward and up. Staying for the next inhale. And exhale, arms circle down, forward and then to meet the blocks. Right toes tuck under. Inhale, lifting the right knee. And exhale, stepping the right foot forward. Inhale, left leg goes back. Nice big step, and then again, extending the line through the inner thighs. So right inner thigh is moving forward, left inner thigh is moving back. Inhaling. Exhaling, lowering the left knee down, untucking the toes. Inhale, lifts the belly, chest, and shoulders. Hands relax on the right thigh. Next inhale takes the arms forward and up. Stay here for the inhale. And exhale, arms circle down. Hands find the blocks. Inhale, we tuck the left toes under, lifting the left knee. And exhale, left foot steps up next to the right. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise up to stand, arms reach overhead. Exhale, hands meet and lower to the heart. Pausing here, checking in with your breath, checking in with yourself. Keeping your eyes steady, gazing down lightly at your fingertips. Breathing in, arms sweep overhead. And breathing out, knees bend, hinge forward and fold. You can take your blocks forward of your toes here. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding down, chest lowers. Left knee bends, left hand to the block, right hand to the right hip. Torso stays long here so the head isn't dropping, and keeping that left hip crease in line with the right hip crease. Inhale. Exhale, neutral spine, lowering into your fold. Inhale, right hand pushes into the block, chest lifts slightly. Right knee bends, left hand to the left hip. Pulling the left shoulder back. Inhale. And exhale, release. Take the blocks back by the pinky toe sides of the feet. Step back with the right foot. Inhale with a long right leg. Exhale, lower the right knee down, untuck the toes. One breath this time, breathing in, reaching arms all the way up overhead. And as you breathe out, we're going to turn to the left. So the right arm comes forward. The left hand could come to the left hip, or you might stretch it back, getting a little bit deeper into the shoulder. Inhale, turning forward, both arms rise. Exhale, turning the other way, so hips stay steady. This time the left arm moves forward. Breathing in, both arms go overhead. Exhale, hands float down to the blocks. Inhale, right knee lifts, right toes tuck. Exhale, step the right foot up. Inhale, stepping back with the left foot. Exhale, lowering the left knee down. One breath, lifting up, arms come overhead. And with the exhale, left arm forward, maybe the right hand to the right hip. Maybe the right arm stretches back. Arms are parallel to the floor. Breathing in, reaching overhead, shoulders turn forward. Exhale, turning the other way, right arm forward, left arm back or to the hip. Hips stay facing forward the whole time. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, arms come forward and down. Inhale, left toes tuck under, left knee lifts up. Exhale, left foot steps forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise up to stand. Exhale, hands to heart. 3 breaths here. Relaxing the hands by your sides, breathing in, arms float up. Breathing out, hinging forward, folding in. Inhale, halfway up, shoulders are firm on the back. Exhale, folding down. We'll take the blocks forward of the toes. Left knee bends, left hand presses down, right shoulder draws back as we turn. Inhale. Exhale, release and fold. To the other side, right knee bends, right hand on the block, left shoulder and elbow spin upward. Inhaling and exhaling, folding down. Blocks come to the outsides of the feet. Stepping back with the right leg. Finding your long lunge. Bending into the left knee. And then bending into the right knee. Lowering it all the way down. Toes untuck. Breathing in, we lift the arms up overhead. Breathing out, taking the right arm forward, left hand to the hip or straight back. Inhale, both arms overhead. And exhale, taking the hands down. We're going to take the right hand down to the ground. Tuck the right toes under. And the left hand can come to the left thigh or reach up. So right knee is lifted here. And because the legs are working a little bit more, your left hand might be on the left thigh. Continuing that long line from the right inner thigh all the way down to the right heel, inner heel. Breathing in here. And breathing out, we untwist, taking the left hand down, lowering the right knee. You can lift back up onto blocks here with the hands. And then keeping the right knee bent, we'll just push off the right toes and step up. And then we'll take the second side, bringing the left foot back, bending the right knee, and then lowering the left knee down. Top of the left foot pushes down, and with the inhale, we rise up. Exhale, turning now to face the right. Chest faces the right, left arm goes forward. Maybe the right arm goes back. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands circle down. Taking the left hand to the ground. And maybe taking the right hand to the thigh. Maybe reaching up. But starting to push into the left toes to pick up the left knee. Making sure there's no turning happening through the left leg, that straight leg. So that leg is just as neutral as when your chest is facing forward. Inhale. And exhale, untwisting, lowering the left knee. And then we're going to step the left foot forward. So left hand could come back up to the block so you have some space. Left knee stays low. And then we step up. From here, we'll move blocks off to the side. Bend the knees generously to take the hands down to the floor. And walk back either into a downward facing dog, or lowering the knees down and finding child's pose. If you're in downward dog, bend your knees and come into a child's pose. Allowing yourself to rest and be still. And then we'll start to lift up, lifting the head and chest first. Hands are shoulder width apart as we lift up to tabletop, placing some more weight in the arms. And then coming around into a seat. And we're going to sit here with either shins crossed, one in front of the other, or legs in a butterfly shape. So knees bent any amount. And if your shins are crossed, make sure that the heels are closer to your knees than your hips. And then from here, we're going to move into a twist. So taking the right hand back, left hand to the right knee. And the right hand pushes down into the ground. Your neck is feeling okay here. You might even choose to turn your head. So looking a little bit closer to the right shoulder, or rather just bringing your chin closer to the right shoulder. So not necessarily trying to look at the shoulder. Last breath here. And then unwinding, turning forward. And before we, let's change the crossing of the shins if you had that shape. And then we'll just go to the other side. So now turning to the left. Noticing if you want to lean to the left in any way. Trying to keep the line of the spine completely vertical. And then with that, maybe choosing to turn your head so the chin comes closer to the left shoulder. And with that head turn, there's no change in the space between the chin and the chest. So we're not dropping or lifting the chin, but just taking it directly across. And then we'll come back to face forward, taking both legs straight now. And we're going to keep the left leg straight. Right knee will bend. Taking a little bit of a deeper twist here, but there'll be a few variations. So the mildest version will be to have the right foot to the inside of the left leg. And it doesn't matter if the foot is closer to the knee or the shin, but you do want to have your toes down on the ground if possible. If you'd like to go a little deeper, you can step the right foot over to the outside of the left leg. And we want to keep the right knee lifted. So if taking the foot across means that the knee drops down to the floor, then come back and bring the foot inside of the leg. Keep the left hand on the right shin. And as you breathe in, sweep the right arm up. So feel the length from the right outer hip through the outer side of the body. And then keep that as much as possible as you turn and lower the right hand back behind you. The right thigh is hugging in toward your belly, and your left hand is kind of aiding that action by keeping the knee upright, keeping the shin lifted. Let's take our final breath here, bringing the lower spine up and in. And then we'll release, turning forward, using your hands to unwind the right leg, and then take some bouncing to release. And then we'll go the other way. So left foot bends in, grounding down on the mat. And choosing your variation, if you'll keep the left foot to the inside of the right leg, or step it across to the outer leg. And notice what's happening here about the knee. If the outer knee is dropping down toward the mat, then you'll step the foot back and keep it resting inside of the right leg. Otherwise, you can keep the foot down on the ground completely. Left knee stays lifted. Right hand is on the left shin. Inhale, sends the left arm forward and up. And here, trying to extend through that left side, but also notice your entire spine, even your right shoulder. So we're not dropping the right shoulder down. Right shoulder is lifted. Taking one more elongated in-breath. And with the out-breath, turning, taking the left hand down behind you, finding your twist. Left thigh hugs into the belly. You might even sense the connection there. One final inhale. And with the exhale, we'll release. Hands can help bring the left shin back across if it was outside of the right leg. And then extend out, releasing with some bouncing. And then from here, we'll come down to lay on our backs. Taking hips forward. Reclining down and then keeping knees bent. And then hug your knees in, but bring them wider. So knees are more aiming toward the outer shoulders. Holding on to the backs of the knees here. And just imagining that there are little weights on your elbows. And those little weights on the elbows help the upper arm bones feel even heavier. And that heaviness lightly pulls the knees and thighs down toward the outer ribs. Like to get in a little deeper, you can start to lift the shins, keeping hands where they are. The feet will be flexed, so as if you're standing on the ceiling, and we're trying to bring the heels on top of the knees. That's a bit too much, shins can stay relaxed. Just another breath or two here. And if the shins were lifted, start to lower them. And then we'll all guide the knees back in together. You might even choose to just release the lower back here, taking the knees very lightly, small motion, side to side. And then we'll set up for our relaxation pose. So you can extend your legs out, extend your arms out, away from your sides. Placing your body with intention, being deliberate with how you settle into relaxation here. We're trying to set ourselves up in the most comfortable way possible so that we can really process and integrate all of the physical and mental work that we've done here. And so when you're ready to be still, be still. Letting go of the temptation to have any control over parts of your body, over your breath, And just let yourself rest with the stillness here. Begin to breathe a little bit deeper. Taking some wakeful energy into your hands and feet with some small movements. Maybe wiggling, maybe making some circles. Starting to move however your body is asking to move. And when you're ready, you might reach your arms overhead, growing long throughout your whole body. And then bending knees, taking feet to the mat, knees into the chest. Finding a little side to side rocking movement. As you're ready, roll to one side, pressing up into a seat and letting your eyes close. Being curious and receptive to what your experience is now, and how this practice might have changed anything for you. You might sense into your hips and along the spine, noticing if there's more freedom and openness there. And then And together we'll breathe in, stretching our arms out and up, taking hands together and lowering them to the heart. The goodness in me sees and honors the goodness in you. Namaste.